So I'll do after this. I'm gonna have some supper and then probably go back to bed.
Good shout.
Fair.
What's with the Kanye Wests then?
I did that years ago before he was a cunt.
Oh, right. Fair enough.
I rarely come into discourse, and
Yeah, same.
but then again, he's still done some great albums. But yeah. But anyway, I'll have to change that, I think.
I don't think I've listened to any of his stuff since the Jay-Z collaboration that they did.
Yeah, but I'm going to change it now. Because it's annoying me.
Go back to your what's his face punching the polar bear.
Oh, Brian Blessed, yeah.
Yeah.
Let's have a look. I'm on it now. I'll find something. Talk amongst yourselves.
We are. We're just chilling,
Cool.
drinking a beer.
How does this work then? We just talk as normal then?
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
just like
it's
Skype.
but it
better.
actually works.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
People actually hear us right now? Yeah.
Yeah, we're streaming.
Okay.
Oh shit.
I'm not recording, but we're streaming.
Okay.
But no one's in the stream anyway, so don't worry.
Okay.
Fine.
Nobody's there. Nobody's there.
I mean, I'm just going on there just to see if anyone else puts any questions and shit up there, but you know.
Good.
Oh, I've got both my windows open and it's doing nothing at the moment.
Mate,
It's
it's
still-
so hot.
I've got a massive fan aimed at me.
It's just
Yeah.
the humidity, that's all it is. It's
Yeah.
just humid. It looks gorgeous, the weather. It looks nice and overcast, but it's just nothing.
Nice and
Gorgeous.
overcast. Nice and overcast. Brings me some rain, please.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah,
it rained
like
the other
Saturday
day.
night
And
was great.
I
Saturday.
kind of celebrated, but you know it was just going to get humid afterwards, and that's exactly
Yeah.
what's happened.
Yeah, always the way, innit? Never mind. Don't worry about it. It'll go on for another 6 weeks.
Yeah, and then we'll get 9 months of tolerable weather.
Mm.
And if it's not intolerable, you can just shut it out and ignore it.
It's consensus though, summer can fuck off, right?
Pretty
give it
much.
Another
Nice.
2 weeks. Let's get the festival out of the way I'm going to.
What festival are you
Uh,
going
Which one's
to?
that?
I'm going to Wilderness.
Oh,
I
I
don't
don't
know
know
that
that
one.
one.
Yeah, it's where is it? It's that'll do. So I just okay. So I'm just finding a photo to change to. It's in Oxfordshire.
Oh, right, fair enough. Well, get
What sort of
some
music?
nice warm spring weather out. Like, I appreciate a nice bit of warm weather as long as it's just
Yeah.
not hot.
I
hot.
just don't want torrential rain. That's all. You know,
When's
lovely
Glastonbury? That's usually when it pisses
Not this
down.
year.
next year? Yeah.
Oh, they've skipped a year, have they?
They have
Yeah.
every 5 years they take a year off, I think, isn't it?
Oh, right, random.
About
I
that.
didn't
Yeah,
know
they have a fallow year. Yeah, it's no Glastonbury this year. Probably could
Oh.
have best. There we go. I've changed my picture now.
Well done.
It's usually happened by now, hasn't it, Glastonbury?
Yeah,
I think
end-
it's
end
usually
of June.
July, isn't it?
No, it's end
Oh,
of June.
is
It's,
it? Okay.
it's around the summer solstice.
Oh, yeah, of course.
Yeah.
I have no idea.
Cool. Cool.
Cool stuff. So, I can see you guys have played plenty of games, apart from Darren, but I already know that Darren's been playing games.
I haven't played plenty. I've just sort of dabbled in most of them.
Yeah, that's
Mhm.
cool. Dabbling is fine. That's all I usually do as well.
That's true.
Dabble. Dabble so you can talk shit for 5 minutes. Done.
Yeah. Well, that's what it's about, mate. You know, we talk about Vigi games. Also want to talk a little bit... Well, we'll get into it now, actually. Shall we start?
Yeah, is this the topic you want to talk about? That's
No.
probably not the
I
best
wanted to
talk
get
about.
into a TV show discussion.
A TV show. Okay,
yeah,
a TV
yeah.
show discussion.
Oh.
I'm just putting it out there. I'm just putting it air on the side of caution.
No.
Okay.
Well, we...
Yeah, that's what I'm like.
No, well, I haven't decided to discuss that topic yet. We'll
Good.
see how long the show
Don't.
lasts.
Fucking die!
That's exactly how me and Switch were feeling earlier on today.
There's a spider just crawling across my fucking carpet.
Is that it? How big was it?
It was a harvest
enough.
spider, but it's in my room.
Right, I've started
well.
recording now.
Yeah,
Oh shit.
Okay.
Behave.
That's fine.
Cut that out.
Stop playing fuck.
Oh, that's in the stream, mate. So that's there. That's there forever.
Also, we can say fuck.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Okay, that's
Well,
right.
if you want. I won't use it too much though.
No. Well, I can't swear because I have a child in the room.
Oh, you can. You can't know anything. Just also use alternative swear words.
Yes,
I
like
must
cucumber.
admit, I have been in public and heard like parents like effing and blinding in front of their young kids, and
Nah,
it's like,
I don't agree
come
with that,
on.
mate. I don't.
No, it's a bit much. You know what I mean?
There must be a standard set.
Yeah.
Anyway, should we start?
Yeah, let's start. What's the
Okay.
order?
So we'll
I'll go
go
last.
me, Matt, Dan. No, me, Matt. Yeah, me, Matt, Dan, switch. How's that?
Okay.
Yeah.
That's good.
That's because Clarky joined to listen in and it confused me.
Clarky!
How did he do? Was that the Clarky that was getting shot by paintballs yesterday?
I don't know.
Nice.
It was indeed.
Hey!
Hey. Alright.
Clarky!
Twitch is being shit, so I thought it'd be stalkerish and
That's
listening
fine.
on you.
That's fine. Well, if you want to chime in at any point, just do so. It'll make it more interesting.
Yeah, it would.
Yeah, keep your swearing to a minimum. This is a fucking family show.
Yes.
Don't know about that.
Right, are we ready to rock?
Crack
Yeah.
on.
Just about, yeah.
Okay. And a 3, and a 2, and a 1. Hello and welcome to Mojo Radio, episode 465 for Tuesday, the 24th of July, 2018. I'm your host, Mark Webb, gamer tag, Pearson ID, Steam ID, Webby317. And joining me on this hot, sweaty Sunday evening is...
Gonna put it better myself, it's Matt. You can find me on Steam and Warframe as Sethagen and Battle.net as Sethagen #2508.
Family entertainer, Cinema Dan.
And Puddle of Switch.
Hello.
Puddle switch. What have you been doing?
Just sitting in a bucket.
Throw it in, mate.
Okay, as long as it's not that in a bucket, it's alright.
No.
This is a family show, remember?
Yeah, definitely a family show. And we also have Clarky79 stalking us in the background.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that didn't unsettle me in any way.
So as I mentioned in last week's show, if you are a member of our Discord group, you can find us very easily. The link is in the show notes, so you'll be able to find that very, very easily. And you can come in. You can either listen on Twitch, you can join our channel as long as you mute yourself on Discord. And if you want to say anything, chime in during the question section, or if we shout your name or whatever, just jump in and say hello, and we might take the piss out of you.
We will roast you.
Yes.
Not spit roast. This is a family show.
No, that would be inappropriate.
Exactly.
I think we've
Don't
got
do
the title of the episode.
that. Family
Yeah.
roasts.
That's the title of a porn
That's a
fucking
different
film,
song.
innit? Oh dear.
And it's gone to shit within the first 5
Yeah.
minutes.
Yes.
Anyway, before we talk about games, I wanted to talk about the trailer for Star Trek Season 2, Star Trek Discovery.
What? I haven't seen it. What?
You haven't
I thought
seen
you were gonna
this?
talk about something
Even
good
Marcus
like
is getting
Godzilla.
excited in the background.
Oh man, it's pure nerdgasm.
Oh, it's so good!
I'm going now.
Yeah, you need
It's,
to watch this.
You need to watch it. It's phenomenal. It just ticks all the boxes. It's like, what the hell's going on? So it's not out till January though, apparently. So.
I know it's not out till next year, man, but
Mhm.
I love the trailer because it's very long and it looks like they're all having a lot of fun and stuff. But Captain Pike, they continue with his character from the original show, well, from that first episode, and it looks amazing.
And
What?
there's
So
also-
Discovery is set before all of the original Star Trek?
Yes.
Yep. Did you know that?
Right.
Yes, it is.
No, I didn't really pay any attention to
Fair
the
enough.
last one actually.
It's set 10 years before, and at the
Fair
end,
enough.
well, to cut a long story short, Pike is the new captain, and there's mention of Spock. And if you haven't watched any of the Star Trek Discoveries that's currently on Netflix or CBS, wherever you are in the world, I highly recommend you watch them because they are fucking amazing. Done. Without spoiling anything whatsoever.
I am excited.
Yeah, it's good.
Yeah.
So I'm going to watch it properly later because I've just sort of had a quick flick through it, and yeah, my pants are tightening.
Looks freaking awesome.
Yeah.
So,
Good.
so after that note, I played some games, guys.
Hot shit.
I know, and so I'm gonna just go through them. And I just want to say my most played game of the week is Octopath Traveler on the Nintendo Switch.
Is it
Oh my god!
Yeah.
Hello, someone's rustling, and there's a train in the background. I'm loving this game. I'm loving this game. It is absolutely fan-fucking-tastic. If you have a Switch, do yourself a favour and pick up this game, especially if you love JRPGs. Train. If you...
It's not me.
I know, it's me actually. I live, there's a train track just outside my back garden, and I've got all the doors and windows open because it's freaking roasting in here. Anyway... It's so fucking good. If you're a fan of old school JRPGs as I mentioned last week, like Final Fantasy VI, etc., pick up this game. It's the stories of the characters. I've got 7 of the 8 characters now, and doing the story for each character as you pick them up and make them and get them to join your party is just absolutely fantastic. And it just reminds me of those very old school 90s JRPGs, and it's just absolutely fantastic. And another thing that I'm kind of loving and hating about it at the same time is it's very traditional old school JRPG in the fact that it's freaking difficult. Like the battles, the difficulty ramps up, and you really have to think about, right, who do I need in my party now? Who's going to be the most helpful? Obviously, you're going to want a healer in there. Maybe a thief, a warrior. And it's like, fuck, well, who'd I put in there? But it's proper old school turn-based battles, and and some of the battles last like 20 to 30 minutes as well. So this is one of those games, it's going to take you a long time to complete, and it's just brings back a lot of nostalgia for me. But I'm just really enjoying.
How much time you put into it? How much time?
I'd say about 15 hours.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, I'm absolutely loving it. And yeah, I wholeheartedly recommend people pick it up. It's really, really good.
Okay.
Yeah, but and also what I'm liking about it is you can choose whichever character you want out of the 8 to start with, but then you can go and meet all the other characters and get them to join your party as well. So in one playthrough, you are experiencing all their stories, and then as you unlock all those characters, other quests for those characters come across on the map.
Mm-hmm.
But you have to be quite a high level to start doing those quests, which is why I'm just going around collecting all the characters now. So I've got the last one to go and get now. And then it's decisions of, oh, fuck, who am I going to have in my party? Because all of the characters have different abilities in battle, but they also have different abilities as you're exploring the world, especially in towns. So they all interact with the NPCs in the towns differently. So like the thief can steal stuff of people, you've got a trader who can opt to buy stuff of people, you've got a scholar who can interrogate people. So there's all these different things that you can do, and they all open up different secrets throughout the game as well, which is really, really cool.
Okay. I heard also it's like a 2D pixel art on a 3D plane. Is that right? Something along those lines. The graphic style.
Yeah, so I really like the graphic style. It's pretty cool. It's really hard to explain, so I'd say check out a video review on YouTube. But it's 2D pixel art, but kind of 3D as well. It's this weird mishmash.
A depth of field thing to the graphics.
It is very, very well done. It really, really is.
Am I right in thinking also the demo that's on the Switch store at the moment is the first 3 hours? So if, like me, it's not quite payday yet.
Yep.
It might be worthwhile playing that so you get on with it before you actually dive in.
Yeah, so the demo is actually very well done. I believe it's just the game, but you only get 3 hours of playtime.
Okay.
So what you do, you can play for 3 hours, save your game, and then when you buy the actual full game, you just carry on.
Okay, I'm up with that.
So it's not real. So it's really, really cool way of doing a demo, I think, because I think, when games usually have demos or betas or whatever, you play it and you lose all your progress, and it's really nice to see a demo done in that way where your progress carries on.
Yeah, it makes sense. Cool.
Yeah, so it's
Cool. I'll
it's
check it
freaking
out.
awesome.
I mean, I haven't played a '90s JRPG for a long time, but sometimes when you're on the train, Donkey Kong doesn't always cut it, especially if you're standing up and you're trying. Your skills aren't that great.
Yeah,
So I'll take a look.
yeah,
And
it's
if
absolutely
it's
brilliant.
shit, I'll tell you.
That's fine. I'm always up for different opinions.
Yeah, it's fine, mate. Don't worry. I'm sure it's fine. I'm sure it's a good example of its ilk. So
Yeah,
all good.
it's really well done. I'm absolutely loving it. So next game I've been playing only very briefly, so I'm only going to briefly mention it. I don't know if Darren will mention it in more detail. Myself and Darren played a little bit of The Division this week, together as friends. It was fun. We did some of the underground.
Yeah, it's the new badge, wasn't it, that they've done this week?
Yeah, so every week they're pushing out these badges which net you rewards for the Division 2.
Yeah, I think it's going to be like once a month because obviously we're still a fair away now, sort of a thing. So like they released the first 4, which like nets you a tier of rewards, and then they're going to release like one every 20 so days or whatever it is. I believe
that's fair.
But it gets people into it and playing it again and whatnot.
Yeah.
And I think at the moment, I could be wrong because I don't actually know, but because the badge itself includes basically underground content, which is DLC, there's a possibility that DLC is actually accessible to everyone while this event is running or while this badge is up.
Ooh.
Like I say, I can't really clarify it because I own the season pass. So
when's the Division 2 out again? I've lost track.
Probably March next year.
Yeah, that's still a ways off.
Bloody hell, they need to keep you interested a long time then, Jesus.
Yeah, but I mean, I think about it like this, right? I mean, the Division came out, around, when, compared to the original Destiny, was it just after? Was it just before?
I think it's just after, I think.
Yeah, so you look at how long a life the Division has had compared to Destiny, and I think...
It's been out about 2.5 years.
Yeah, I think it's done well, because it's always still very heavily populated when you enter the game, and people are still talking about it. I think Ubisoft have done really well with the updates. Obviously, a lot of the updates I haven't agreed with, but, it's nice to see that game is, it's been well supported.
Well, it's franchise building, isn't it? It's franchise building.
Yeah.
It's got to the point where they're willing to put the time and effort to keep people interested, and they're in for the long haul, I guess, financially. When you look at, I suppose, Destiny 2, it was immediately okay. You get your Destiny 1, and all of a sudden you need to keep up the Joneses. So that's another, few tens of dollars or pounds, or whatever, just so that you're up to date with it. And then all of a sudden Destiny 2 comes out, and the whole cycle begins again.
Yeah.
And before you know it, you've invested a couple of $100 into the game. More so if you buy a shitty little, Amazon Echo talking device.
No, I've seen those.
It's a question, I suppose, of goodwill versus, profitable returns. And goodwill is a very, as you probably all started to realise, goodwill is a very, very strong commodity these days.
Yeah.
Well, especially when Ubisoft are one of these companies that's going down the route of games as a service. You can't show people that you're going to back away from something if it doesn't come out the way you want it to.
Yeah. I think all their games in the last few years have been very well supported. You look at Rainbow Six, look at Assassin's Creed, look at The Crew. As prime examples, Ghost Recon Wildlands. They've all been very well supported, kept with updates, a year or two later. I think they're doing well there, and they're not. In my opinion, I don't think they're overcharging either.
No, even when the season pass came out for the Division, I think one of the main reasons I picked it up, although I wasn't really into the last piece of DLC with it being like PvP focused.
Yeah.
But it was like about £15 or something. I remember it being pretty reasonable for a season pass, whereas like most season passes, like obviously you get your money grabbers like your EAs and your Activisions charging like £40, but most people will generally charge you about 25-30 quid for a season pass, and I thought, well, 15 quid, you can't really go too wrong with it.
Yeah, that's pretty good. Yeah, so that's pretty cool. I'm going to move on. So, apart from the Division, going into Destiny, I've been playing some Destiny 2 on the Xbox. with our good friend, who we haven't seen for a while, Mr. Urban Big P.
Alright, Phil.
Hadn't seen him for ages. Had a few nights this week because I've been looking after Marcus. So my only gaming time has been in the evenings when everyone's gone to bed. So I had a couple of nights where I was up till like 1 or 2 in the morning just playing games. And one of those games was Destiny 2 on the Xbox with Phil, because he was the only person online who I really game with, or I hadn't spoken to him for a while, but there was no one online to play co-op with, and he was like, and he was on Destiny 2, and I was like, I really fancy some co-op, and he was like, just come and join me. So I was like, fuck it, and we played for a good few hours, and we had some fun. I know we poo-poo the game, but when there's nothing else to play co-op with and there's no one else online and that's the only game, then you just shoot the breeze and shoot some dudes in the face.
I'm hurt.
Well, you weren't online, Matt, to play Warframes.
I'm never more than like 4 meters from my computer. So.
Just talking about Warframe, I've been playing some Warframe this week as well.
Yes.
I've unlocked the second planet. If that
congrats.
means a lot. So I don't think I've gone very far still.
Is that good, Second Planet?
There's like, what, 15?
Oh, shit.
Yeah, so I've got a while to go. But yeah, I'm really, really enjoying it. There's still a lot to learn in this game. I've maxed out my weapons, so I've switched them out for different ones to try and rank them up now. I've not ranked up my frame to maximum yet. But I'm really enjoying it. I played with some more randoms again. And just did some missions. It was cool. We did some leveling, didn't we, Matt, as well?
Yeah. I mean, that was pretty good fun.
Yeah, that was a good fun. It really, really was. It reminded me a little bit of Horde mode on Gears of War.
It's kind of the best, like, one of my favourite sort of features of the game is sort of this optional Horde mode stuff. You get survival, you get defence, you get mobile defence.
Yeah.
So I'm less of a fan of the game modes like Spy and Rescue and stuff where you have to sort of achieve silly little objectives, and it's just less efficient.
Yeah, I mean, it's just good fun. I mean, because at the moment for me with Warframe, I'm getting to just play through the story, right? So
yeah.
But doing those other little bits, like with you, like doing that leveling, it was just so much fun because all your frames were so high levels. I was getting to see the stuff that I could hopefully unlock in the future. And the thing that made me really laugh is like obviously the game doesn't seem to take itself too serious at times, because those weapons you had with those, was it like the music weapon and
Octavia the Warframe, yeah.
so funny. It was like these beats
brilliant.
Going along, and I was like, this music's pretty cool. He's putting his weapons down that do these funky beats, and if you tap your buttons to the beats, it makes you invisible and stuff. So that was pretty cool.
Yeah, Octavia is a fun class to play. It's ridiculously overpowered as well, but like the thing is, with when you unlock her from the quest and builder, you get what's called the Mandicord, and basically your main abilities all take like bass, treble, and percussion. And you build your own songs.
Oh, that's awesome.
So
that is cool.
You can literally make whatever you want, and you can obviously spend platinum to buy different instrument sounds and stuff, but you get a fair enough amount to start with anyway.
Yeah, I mean, I've not spent any money on this game as of yet. I'm just enjoying it. I'm just along for the ride at the moment. It seems to have gained a lot of popularity. I've seen more people on my Steam friends list playing it, and certainly there's more people on my Xbox and PlayStation lists playing it as well at the moment. So that's pretty cool to see.
And rightly so.
Yeah, it's really, really cool.
In the later on questions section, but yeah, absolutely. People need to sort of start adding me on PC because I'm basically offering you free carries.
Yeah, it's good times. Do it. Nikki just asked a question in the podcast chat, asking me to explain why I bought Destiny 2 again.
Oh yes.
Was it Humble Bundle $12?
No, so I already had it on PlayStation, and then I got it on PC, and I've got it on Xbox. So the reason I got it on Xbox was, one, because I wanted to play some co-op with Phil, and it was £16 with the DLC, with all the DLC. So I was like, it's worth it just to play some co-op with my mate. So that's why. And I'm just playing through the story, and apparently the new content is pretty okay. But even though I've not got there yet, but we will see if I actually get to it. But it's just one of those things, like, I don't know if you guys experience the same thing. When it's late at night and you're playing a game well, you want a game, but you're
Not
just
for
so
you.
tired, but you don't really
No,
want
not
to.
really.
But you don't really want to think about stuff.
No, not really.
Yeah, I've
for
had
me.
it where I've been like debauched basically, and
Yeah,
I
well,
don't want to concentrate, so I just put
Yeah.
on something simple.
Yeah, so it's like you put something on that doesn't have a story or anything like that, like, I don't know, Forza or Call of Duty or something like that. Well, to me,
Anything you have to concentrate on.
yeah, so for me, like, Destiny is that sort of game where you just, in my mind, I'm skipping all the cutscenes. I'm literally just running around just shooting aliens in the face, and that's about it. And the only thing I'm concentrating on is just chatting to my mate, and that's it. So that's why. That's the answer to your question. So moving on, I want people who have a Nintendo Switch to pick up a little game called Sky Skipper.
Mm-hmm.
So that launched the other
Never
day.
heard of it.
So as you know, our very own Nintendo Arcade, Alex Crowley, who's been on the podcast on many occasions, who owns one of two of the only Sky Skipper arcade cabs, has actually discovered one of the original PCBs and made the cab and all that. I believe this game is released on the Switch because of the popularity of the game that he brought about himself. So that's pretty awesome. And it's actually a fun game. And the reason I want people to get this is, one, to support a game that not many people have ever seen or played in their lives. And two, we can all add each other on the Switch and compare scores.
Yeah.
Yay.
So that will be pretty cool.
Yeah. I'm
So I think we should do it.
Shortly.
Yeah.
Let's do it. Going down, Webby.
Well, I've got my arcade stick up ready to go. Ready for battle.
Good. Cool. Do you want to tell people a little bit about it? Because although I've heard a lot about Sky Skipper, I didn't exactly know how it played.
Oh, have you never played it?
No, I played it only this afternoon.
I've actually got a YouTube video of me playing it on my PC, which I think about 26 people have watched.
Well, you must be really proud of yourself.
Yeah.
Oh, gee, you might get demonetised.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Maybe.
So, for my guess, you're basically a little airplane
Yes.
pilot, and you're in the land of the monkeys or the apes, or you call them
Yeah, yeah,
gorillas. A bit like Donkey Kong's brothers, but they throw things at you, and then you've got to collect things in a certain order.
Well, you don't have to collect them in an order. So basically,
to.
you have to collect these cards.
Are they cards, are they?
Yeah, they're little cards like kings, queens, the jacks and all that.
Yeah,
they're cards.
Playing cards.
Yeah, playing cards. So, but you can only collect them when they're jumping in the air, because otherwise they're in these little like cages or within the scenery of the game.
And you need to dump on the gorillas in order to make them jump. Yeah.
Yeah, so you dump your bombs onto one of the monkeys, and then once that happens, the cards jump in the air. that is basically it.
This sounds amazing.
It's I think it came out in like 1982.
1981.
Freaking
Wow.
so 1981. So it's
At the moment.
freaking old.
Yeah.
So I just think it's a cool little arcade game. It's a shame it didn't do well, but it's very simple. The graphics are very rudimentary. The music is very lacking, but
Very lacking.
again, it's an old game. It's a piece of history, which I think you should own. I mean, the Switch is a great. It's a great.
£6.29.
Well, there you go. It's cheap as chips, and
Well,
you're owning a piece of history there. What else can I say?
Yeah, very true. It's alright actually. It's a nice little diversion. It's pretty good.
Yeah.
Pick it up. And I'm crap at it. I'm just decided.
You need to use your arcade stick.
Arcade stick. Okay, I'll do that after this.
Yeah. Okay, so I've played I've played 3 more games. So, just sticking with the Switch then. Last Switch game I've played is Captain Toad's Treasure Tracker.
Yeah, that's good. It's a nice little game, that.
There's new content with it, isn't there, from the Wii U version? Because I know Stunty was a big fan of Captain Toad's, wasn't he, on the Wii U?
Yeah.
Yeah, and so was Collie
really easy
Wally,
to
actually.
Really easy to finish, by the way. It was a piece of cake to finish.
Yeah, because they've added new stuff, haven't they, from Mario Odyssey and stuff.
Yeah.
I've not got that far. I think that's the last 2 levels or something.
Okay.
But so far it's just a fun little puzzle game, and it is quite addictive. Like I've only done the first 4 levels. only because when I finish a level, I see that I've missed something, like the hidden golden mushroom or something like that. So I'm like, I need to replay this and find this hidden mushroom. And then once you've done the level to kind of completion, you found all the secret stuff, etc., you get little challenges. So it's like you've got levels where you can move pieces of the world around to get to the exit. So it's like one of the challenges is you need to get to the exit with only 3 moves, and I'm like, right, I need to do this before I move on to the next level. And then there's another challenge where there's a pixelated toad, which he hides somewhere on the level, so you have to search for him, and that can take a while. But I'm like, I'm not moving on to the next level until I've done everything. But it's really cool because it satisfies that kind of completionist's itch that I have. It's very fun.
It's very Nintendo, if I remember correctly. It's everything comes in threes, if you know what I mean. It's that kind of. There are bosses, aren't there? If I remember correctly, is that right?
I've not fought a boss.
Okay, there might not be.
I will say one thing though.
Yeah.
It plays better in handheld mode than on the TV.
Oh yeah, it's a puzzle game. It's a puzzle game, and it's hard, to be honest with you.
Yeah, so there's certain levels where if you've got the game in handheld mode, you're tapping the screen to move things around or to tap the enemies to make them freeze. Whereas if you're playing it on the TV, you get this annoying cursor in the middle of the screen, which you have to move around. You have to hold down like the right trigger and then move it around with the right thumbstick. And it's just a bit clunky, to be honest.
Yeah.
So,
I suppose because the Wii U probably just used the gamepad with the screen.
That's right. Yeah. Definitely.
Okay. It's quite cheap as well. It's about £30. I've seen it.
Yeah, it is.
So
yeah.
I don't think I'll buy it again, if I'm being honest.
That's fair. I mean, if you've already played it, I can see why you wouldn't. But I never got it on my Wii U, so that's why I picked up on the Switch. Okay, last 2 games. Very briefly going to say that I've got back into Final Fantasy 14 after I was slagging it off about a month ago.
As usual.
Some new content has dropped. Some story content that I never finished. So I'm actually playing my way through the story at the moment. And I'm actually really engaged into it at the moment. Really enjoying it. Loving the political discussions. It's just right up my street. And it's just, I think the reason I keep coming back to Final Fantasy 14 is
you've put a lot of time and effort into it.
Yeah, it's probably...
And the story's great.
Yeah, the story's really good, but it is... I believe it's actually my most played game in the history of games that I've played. I've put in easily over 1,000 hours into this game, and I'm normally bored of games, normally after 10 hours at least. So
are you going to hold Darren's beer?
Darren's put in the hours. I mean, I remember last time he told me his hours. I was like, "You fucking what?" It's insane. It really is. But no, I'm really enjoying it. I've done a few dungeon runs with some randos, and I'm still fucking awesome. The only problem I had with it was because I deleted it off my PC, and I reinstalled it. And I had to redo all my fucking hotbars again and move around all the icons on the screen. It took me ages. So I won't be deleting it again.
I will say that, I mean, I haven't played Final Fantasy 14 much, but I have to say I wasn't impressed with the UI that much.
I mean, you get used to it, and I know you're coming from WoW, and you can do a lot of customization there. And
yeah, that was my only real comparison. That's the thing. I'm just coming. That's probably one of the reasons why I never really got into 14 so much.
That's fair.
I cannot deal with it.
It's just weird though, isn't it, Matt? Because I know you've been into WoW since pretty much when it came out, so that's kind of it's your game that you go back to, you know. Because
that's exactly what I was going to relate to you with on this one. Like it's you've probably put a similar amount of hours into that than I have to WoW, maybe less. I don't know. But like like you're saying, you go back to it because you're so emotionally invested in it. I've been playing WoW for since 2006, 7, something like that.
It's a long time.
And I've never really unsubscribed or anything, but I will always be logging back in just cause really.
Yeah. And I've tried to get into WoW on so many times, but I like it for what it is. Don't get me wrong, but Final Fantasy is always going to have that pull for me.
Yeah, exactly.
And
I think everyone will have everyone that plays MMOs will have that one MMO that they'll go for.
Yeah.
That's their one, you know.
The one that sort
for a
of
while
like,
it was actually Eve for me, but
the one where all the controls and everything just seem to sort of click and everything. And like I said, for a console MMO, I will say Final Fantasy is still head and shoulders above the rest, just on
absolutely
for performance, because of the fact that it's got its own dedicated server farm where the game is based on it. Like all the data streams to that,
I'll say with you
there's
there.
no lag.
I mean,
very little.
Big pull. The thing is, like, again, you say console MMOs. That's the only one that I can think of that's, you know, stable and worthy of the title.
There's a few others that are sort of worth dipping in and out of, but I can't really grumble about those because most of them are free, or you can just get them dirt cheap now. So, sort of like if anything sort of like comes in under a tenner, it's pretty much worth it in my eyes.
Yeah, fair.
Yeah, so that's that's cool. So I'm back into that, and I'm really enjoying it again. I'm not playing it a lot at the minute. I'm just dipping in and out, just doing like a few quests and coming out again. So I'm not doing shitloads, but it's just nice to be back in the world. So and I've got a little returners icon because I've not been in the game for like 4 or 5 months. So I look like a noob again.
Lol.
So that's cool. Last game I picked up is The Crew 2. So my missus was taking the piss out of me when I picked this up, actually, because because obviously she listens in and we discuss games and stuff. But I don't know what it is. I love the original Crew. I absolutely love the original game. So even though I poo-pooed the demo and all the social media bullshit, I've put about 4 or 5 hours into it since I picked it up this week, and if you skip all the cutscenes, it's actually alright.
So if you don't pay any attention to the story,
yeah,
it's all right.
and I say this because it's actually at its core, if you ignore the social media stupidness,
that is the game.
It actually plays really, really fun. So the cars are really, really cool. You can customize all your cars, all that sort of stuff's in there. You got your boats, your bikes, and your planes, your dirt cars, and your dirt bikes as well. There's so many different variations of vehicles that you can drive in this game, and the races are pretty fun as well. But it's just that open world. You're just fucking going around, chopping and changing between the vehicles. I just think it's fun, but it has
as soon as Forza 4 comes out, you're just going to be like, oh, bye, Crew.
Yeah, so, but the cool thing is, right, because I've got Game Pass, I don't need to buy Forza Horizon 4. So, that is pretty cool. So, yeah. The Crew 2 is okay. I haven't actually played online with anyone yet, so I know a few people on the Xbox have actually got it, so hit me up if you want to play. That'd be cool.
Nice.
That's all I've played, dudes. That is all I've played.
Very good. Well done.
A healthy selection for someone who has a small child to take care of.
Yes. Who's next?
I'll go next, seeing as I'm next on the list, I guess.
Yep.
I mean, we briefly touched on Warframe there, which is, you know, it's taking up a lot of my time these days again. Realised the other day I've probably been playing it since, well, about 4 or 5 years now, on and off. But like where we were saying, we were doing a lot of leveling and stuff. I've got to a weird point at the moment where I've actually run out of stuff to level. Just because of like the mastery rank I am. Although that said, I've just finished building 2 new Warframes, so that is kind of handy. But yeah, I need to do a hell of a lot of resource farming, in other words, to be able to progress any further. So really, what I'm really doing at the moment is a load of endgame content. So I've started putting a bit of time into the Plains of Idle on open world stuff. Which turns out is actually really fun. I did a couple of hours of fishing earlier, a couple of hours of mining, and it's just
sounds very MMO-y.
Well, yeah, that's the thing. I mean, you need the resources for the Plains of Eidolon stuff for their factions to be able to get the stuff that they can give you that you can level. So there's weapons and stuff, and yeah, I mean, it's a nice change of pace. The other stuff I've been doing has been the endgame sorties, which are missions that the collection of 3 missions that sort of revolve every day, apply special conditions and higher leveled enemies to stuff, and they give you hefty rewards. So that's quite decent if you've got higher level frames. You can get some incredibly rare stuff. Obviously, it's harder to get, but you know, it's you can make platinum for selling some of the things you get, which is good. I mean, it's equivalent to real money, right? There's a healthy in-game market on that.
Nice.
That's all I'm really going to say about Warframe, other than friend me up. Just, you know, I will carry you through leveling stuff. It's a laugh. Next thing I was going to mention was World of Warcraft.
Oh yeah, the new patch is out, right?
It certainly is. A lot of people are massively unhappy about it.
Oh.
Oh, is
yeah.
this the new expansion, like the actual expansion, or just
No,
the
the
content patch?
expansion is August 15th. The
Right.
pre-patch, where they change the game around to introduce the new systems, make the class changes before the new expansion comes in.
That's
Just
weird, because
to allow
Final
people to get
Fantasy
used to it.
does all of that straight on the expansion, like any job
Well-
changes and stuff. It comes with the expansion rather than before it.
Yeah, you see, I prefer the way Warcraft do it because I mean, it gives you like a month to get used to the new systems before you can just go headfirst into leveling. I don't know why. I just think I just prefer it. Plus, you know, it gives you something to do. It alleviates the waiting for expansion boredom, which is quite nice because, you know, the last month before an expansion comes out is terrible. It's dead.
Yeah, it's usually dead. Yeah. Like the pre-patch lull, or expansion lull, as people call it.
Yeah, exactly, and it just gives people, you know, an opportunity to log back in, try out new stuff, get used to the class changes. Maybe while they're on there, think about sorting out their bank, you know, earning some gold, doing those last few bits of collectibles that they wanted to do. I spent 6 hours on Wednesday night fishing.
Nice.
you
That
know.
sounds about right. With
But the
the
thing
MMO.
is, I didn't realise it was 6 hours because it got to 4 a.m. and I'm just like, I should really go to bed now.
Shit. Is
It was
that
great
good?
though.
Yeah.
Well,
Okay.
what I ended up doing, because I'm very lazy when it comes to farming stuff in that game. I don't have anywhere near as much gold as I should have. And, I decided to just get the rare fishing done to earn myself the legendary artifact fishing rod.
Sweet.
Nice.
Sounds fun.
It actually was, because it doesn't involve just standing there and clicking a lot. You have to click multiple things at multiple times, and you know, it's just a different way of passing the time. And it's quite nice because it's like, I like doing it pre-expansion, because what it does for me is allow me to go around in the game world that I've spent so much time in and just look at stuff and relax and sort of think,
Drink it in.
that was nice, you know, I enjoyed this bit, I remember this bit, I died horribly here, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And I just think it's a nice different way of enjoying a world that I'm already, you know, incredibly familiar with. But yeah, it's just, you know, there's so much different stuff for everyone, and I have made a fair bit of money out of it, so you know, it's all good.
Nice.
I was going to say the main difference with Warcraft and most other sort of MMOs is the fact that you can pretty much earn your playtime just by playing the game. If you play it long enough, you can earn your subscription.
Yeah, the WoW token thing's a good idea. I mean, for people that do like use Auctionator to play the auction house and all these kinds of things, it's brilliant because you can earn enough gold in game per month to pay for your own subscription, much like Eve does.
Cool.
And, yeah, I think that's really good. I mean,
That's
it's
pretty
tricky
awesome, yeah.
if you're like starting out to earn that much gold, but you can do it. And also because they use that system to combat gold sellers and stuff, because what you can also do with these tokens is you buy them for real money in the shop, and you can then sell them on the auction house for tons of gold. So it's
Right.
basically a gold buying option, but it's, you know, it evens out the economy and basically suck it Chinese farmers.
Yeah,
Chinese
that
farmers.
can
Lovely.
be a gold farming in games is ridiculous. Even on like any game, you'll generally like log in, and as soon as you get to a city area, you'll just see all these pop-up messages along the bottom of like, go to so and so to get gold, and it's like,
Yeah.
when they do it in Final Fantasy, I laugh because gold, like gil in that game, is pretty worthless.
Yeah, it is.
Like, it's good at the start of a patch if you're an end game raider to maybe gear yourself up into like reasonable gear that you can like pentameld, but apart from that, like, it hasn't really got a great value.
No, because you earn a
Well, I
lot of the
mean-
best equipment in dungeon runs.
Yeah, well, that's
Yeah,
it. I
that's
mean,
the thing.
I use most of mine on like maybe the odd mount or barding or minions, basically.
Yeah, it's like I use golds in Warcraft. I mean, I don't buy equipment. There's no point. It's not good enough. Farm dungeons, but I use it for buying materials because my main has two crafting professions, not gathering. So I need to buy herbs and I need to buy bits for enchanting. So it just happens. So
Nice.
other than that, that's all I've really done. Just been organising and getting ready for it. But the thing is, yeah, the community at large have been quite unhappy with this patch, just because I think it had a bit of a dodgy launch in America, which is a bit of a shame. And they've gone up and done, asked the developer Q&A type stuff, and they've sort of apologised for a bit of a crappy approach because
Ah,
some of the things they've done have just broken a few of the systems, kind of by accident. But I feel like it's something they should have tested first more thoroughly. Things like they've done what's called a stat squish, so they've taken all the numbers from the high level stuff at the end game at the moment and just compressed it all because the numbers were getting silly. I'm running around as a shaman with 3.5 million, 4 million HP. It's like, well, that needs changing, doesn't it? So
Yeah,
they've crushed all that down.
done a similar thing in Final Fantasy 14. I mean, my bard in like at level 70 with second to last end sort of like geared tome stuff does just about the same amount of damage I was doing at fully timed level 60
Right.
with certain abilities.
Yeah,
But
I mean, I
that
think
doesn't even get super stupid. Like generally, if you, like a 30k crit or something is a good
Yeah.
crit.
well, this is the thing. Like pre-stat squish, I didn't claim to be particularly highly geared or anything, but my shaman was doing about 1 million DPS. Which is big numbers.
Yeah, I
So
suppose when
that's
it's been going for 11 years.
yeah. Well, the thing is, they already did a squish a couple of expansions ago. It just got out of hand again because of just the way the scaling worked. But what they've done now is now they've implemented that squish. Some of the lower level stuff hasn't worked properly, so it's gimped leveling times and now takes you ages to kill lower level mobs when you are that level, just because things are not very, or they're too even more than anything. And soloing old content from higher level can be a bit trickier than it was because you used to just mince through it all, and now it's you sometimes have to think and obey mechanics rather than just going through for those nice transmog loots. But that's life. I think when the expansion comes out and the first few patches and that will sort it out pretty much.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah,
They
it's-
won't rest on their laurels and just leave it.
Oh,
I
no.
mean, everything gets job tweaks or like little balancing tweaks with every update and patch.
Oh, they're constantly hot fixing anyway, so there's always little balancey, little percentage tweaks, things like that. So it's just how it is. It's a living game, no one's perfect, and I'm just looking forward to the new content. Really,
fair.
it's stunning. I've had alpha and beta access, and it's beautiful.
Nice.
They've really added new graphics, new graphical styles to the new areas. They've given the engine a little bit of a lighting upgrade as well, which helps. So it's I'm just looking forward to it. But enough about WoW, because I could
Cool.
go on literally forever.
Wowzers.
So I've been dabbling in a few other bits as well. One of them was Enter the Gungeon, if anyone's played that.
Yeah.
Turns out I'm terrible at it.
Like most people.
That's okay then.
So,
Because, that game. It's fun, and I love it, and pixel art is great, and, shooting stuff is great, but, oh man.
it's
Just,
hard.
the death. It's not easy.
Good fun though.
It reminds me a little bit of one similar game I played a while back called Hammerwatch.
I've never heard of that one.
That was quite good. I guess it's on consoles as well, but I have it on Steam, and that's a slightly older pixel art one, but again, it's sort of a bullet hell kind of roguelike thing. Bloody good laugh. Also, new release Mother Gunship, if anyone's noticed that one.
What is that?
Ho. Right. So,
I'm going to mute
There you
myself.
probably for the best. Mother Gunship is it's an FPS roguelike, and basically you build your own guns from sets of gun parts you get in the start of the level, and go around and murder stuff. The joy of this is that you get to just build ludicrous guns. It's absolutely insane. You can have just like one gun in your right hand with like 5 different Gatling guns attached to it that fire in like a vertical beam or whatever. You can use your imagination and just plug really ludicrous stuff together. just platform around little room levels and murder drones and things. It's great fun. You can pick up and play because levels are relatively short. There's some crazy ass boss fights. It's an FPS bullet hell gun building roguelike. It's insane. It's just insane.
Is it good then? Cool.
Yeah, great fun. Yeah. I mean, I picked it up off Humble Store, so it's a thing. Give it a shot. So I don't tend to play many sort of small games and just dip in and out. I tend to sort of sit down for a full story, so it's kind of a new world to me. But yeah, give it a shot. It's a laugh.
Cool.
What else? News about Stardew Valley. The multiplayer patch, at least for PC, is going live August 1st, so that'll be great. Anyone hasn't played Stardew Valley, play it. Oh, it's so good.
Is it?
So good.
Is it that good?
It's really good on the Switch as well, because playing it on
Yeah.
the go is pretty awesome, and it's chill.
Yeah.
So chill.
I mean, I love the Harvest Moon series. I just slightly lament at what it's become these days. And for me, Stardew Valley is just like they've gone back and remade the original Harvest Moon and done it really, really well.
With
But it's
loads
just
of
made
extra
by
stuff like romance options and stuff, isn't there? And
well, romance options. There's all the farming, all the cooking, all the mining, all the dungeony bit, and it was all made by one dude. Who has himself worked tirelessly to now make it multiplayer viable. So,
That is awesome, innit?
watch out for that.
Yeah.
It's great fun. And other than that, there was something I have a question for later, which is fine. But other than that, yeah, Overwatch. If anyone's a fan, Nerf and Blizzard have teamed up to make Reaper's Hellfire shotgun a Nerf gun.
Yeah.
That's
I was
pretty
gonna
cool.
say, you probably had a lot of people's hearts in their throats then when you said Overwatch and Nerf.
My favourite characters being fucked
Yeah, so I was
over.
like, oh, my favourite. What's happening?
I'm not a massive Overwatch fan, but I like Blizzard's art styles and everything, and I like Nerf guns because, let's face it, they're fun. But yeah, I mean, to be fair, the first thing that caught my eye on the post I saw was just Reaper got nerfed. I was like, oh well.
Yes. I hate Reaper. Rubbish.
Yeah. But that's bastard. Teleporting bastard. That's me done. So yeah, go for it.
Okay.
Dan.
Hello. Let me set myself up because I've got to go to my list because I do not have immediate. Where is it? Where did I put these bloody things now?
Left a bit.
Left a bit. I found. I usually found it. I've had a mess around on my phone, so all the bits that used to be where they used to be are different places now. So okay. So this weekend has been the first year. Yeah, go for it, Marcus. This year's first is the first anniversary of Splatoon 2. So they've been celebrating with another Splatfest, which was octopuses versus squids or something like that. So I've been playing that a bit today. It's still really, really good fun. Adding new content, new stages, new weapons. They're in for the long ball on this one, and it's nice in that it always seems vibrant when you go in. Every couple of hours or so, the stages that are available switch over, so you kind of there's always something new to see. If you've heard there's a new level, for example, that weekend, and they usually kind of focus on that quite heavily, but then it disappears out of the rotation, it comes back, and old favourites come back again. Really, really cool, really, really good. From what I could tell, I went along to an earlier, the Squids won the Splatfest, so I was on the side of octopuses though, so I kind of missed out on that one. But shit happens. But it was all good fun. And then there was a little thing, Sonic Mania Plus, that came out this week as well. Which, if you go, I got it on the Switch. I think I laid about £10-15 for the original Sonic Mania, something like that.
Yeah,
and
I believe so. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean this update's £4. With that, what you get 2 new characters. You have to forgive me, I do not know their names, but there's something who looks a bit purple, who stomps into the ground, and then you've got
Big the cat?
No, it's not Big the Cat. I know Big the Cat. He was the worst character ever. He has a fishing rod. I know he's bloody awful. And then you had a flying squirrel as well, who kind of glides around everywhere. And the purpose of these 2 is that they kind of there is an encore mode now, which is the original game, but with new bolts added on to utilize these two characters. And also, you have you control two characters at any one time, much like the original Sonic the Hedgehog 2 when Tails came into it. So you'll always have a second character following you around, but you can flip between them, and they also represent life. So if like you're leading with Sonic and Sonic dies, your secondary character will step in to pick up the mantle. And if you've got like another character in reserve, like a life, they'll come in as a secondary partner. So you'll get the gist of it when you play it, and it's really, really cool. It's kind of keeps it a little bit fresh. It's familiar, but yet if you're if you've rinsed the previous game, there's lots more opening up now, much like the Sonic and Knuckles did, I suppose, to some extent when that came out. So if you want a bit more Sonic for £4, I don't think you could go far wrong, to be honest with you. And also there's a bonus. The new bonus game is like a pinball machine as well. When you go in,
nice Sonic Pinball.
Yeah. So sweet, I say.
I have to say that Sonic Mania, in my opinion, is probably one of the best Sonic games they've released in a long time.
Oh, of course it is.
And if you haven't played it, definitely check it out if you're a fan of the old school Sonic games. I just love the way that the old levels are remixed into kind of new levels, and there's new levels as well, obviously, as well. But a fantastic game from start to finish. Really, really
It's challenging as well.
Yeah, it is.
It really is challenging. So, recommended. You can get a physical version, I think, which is if I'm being honest, it's up to you. If you if you want to put it on the shelf, it's fine. I'm not sure how much it is, but you can probably get Sonic Mania Plus online for about the same price, or maybe a bit cheaper as a download. I don't know. You pay your money, your choice. Do what you want to do. Another game on Switch I played was Lumines.
Oh yes.
I was a massive fan of this when it came out on the PS Vita. Mainly because it used its contemporary real-world artists. So you had a bit of Underworld chucked in. I think there was a level with the Pet Shop Boys as well. There was all sorts. So there was all this kind of familiar music going on, and as you're playing it, it was almost like a remix playlist. This reverts back to standard, generic dance music. So there's no one really of note on this, and although I like it a lot, it kind of impacts on my personal enjoyment of it.
You haven't got that toe tapping like, I remember this kind of thing.
Exactly. And there's a couple of really irritating levels like that. There's a level that basically says "shake your body" over and over again.
Oh yes.
You like that one? Well,
that's my favourite. That's my favourite one, dude.
I fucking figure.
No, I'm just saying I know the song because I've been playing it as well. Yeah.
And the colours all change from purples to whites, and it's really hard to differentiate them. And
did you not play Lumines on the Xbox 360 because that was very similar?
Yeah, I did, but I went back to the Vita version because it's superior. I still own a copy of it on Vita.
Oh, fair.
I really should dig out the Vita and play it again, but it's fine. I mean, it's a good game. It always was. It forces you to unlearn block puzzle games because there's an element of the game where I was thinking, play this like Tetris, like there's a little hole there, like fill that in, but you don't do it like that. The only way you get rid of blocks is by making a cube, not like a cube, but like a block of 4. Lines don't work.
There's 2 colours, isn't there? So
and you don't have any gaps. You for example, in Tetris, you have like a little gap right at the bottom that you can fill in if you're clever enough. And this doesn't have any of that. It's far paced. It's good. The music is all right, and it's still a solid game. It's well worth picking up, but I would have preferred if they spent a bit more money on some licensing and got some tracks in. Maybe I would have paid a little bit extra for that, but it is what it is. So I mustn't grumble. I got the Vita version still, so that's all right.
Just a side note from that,
I think it was a launch game on that, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was. Yeah.
Interesting.
What were you saying, Matt?
Good.
I was just thinking about sort of puzzle, like block-based puzzlers that sort of throw the formula a little bit. Did anyone ever play a game called Yosemite?
No.
It was on DS and it's on Steam. I think it's a Square Enix game. If you've got a DS or what, you just find it on cheap or like on a Steam sale, pick that up because that is a slightly refreshing formula. You like rows don't count again. You create areas like squares of stuff, but like depending on huge areas of the game board. And I'm not explaining this very well. Just watch gameplay; it's fun.
No worries.
Yeah,
Will
I was
do.
going to say another one I always remember of note, because obviously most people think of like stuff like Puyo Puyo and stuff like that. But there was quite an obscure game on the Saturn which pretty much used the same thing, but it was called Baku Baku Animal,
Mhm.
and you had to feed certain types of fruit and line them up with certain like animal heads, and then they'd eat along them, and then obviously everything would cascade down from where they'd eaten.
Okay,
That
this
was
sounds
They're like
strange.
sort of fussy,
Yeah.
fussy hippos.
fussy hippos. Well, there you go. Cool. And what else have we been playing? Oh yes, there's been an update for Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. If you
Oh,
haven't
nice.
been in recently, they've added in Link in his Breath of the Wild costume.
Oh,
and
cool.
the Link motorcycle that you get in the DLC that came out, as well as some other bits and bobs.
What was the link that was in the original one then? I thought that was Breath of... Oh no, it wasn't Breath of the Wild,
No,
was it?
it
It
was,
was
it was
Twilight
classic.
Princess
Yeah,
or
it was
whatever
Green
it was.
Link. Yeah.
Yeah.
I went back in, played some multiplayer, and it's full of noobs still. It's great. So I was coming like top 3 in pretty much every single race I was racing. So yeah, it was good. I mean, I said I always got time for Mario Kart. Always go back.
You still use the heavy classes, don't you?
Yeah, well, no, I use a mix. I
Like your
used
Donkey Kong and your Bowsers and
no,
stuff.
I've actually been cheeky. I started using like Baby Luigi, and I really
Oh,
like
right.
that. Mainly because I'm pretty nimble and I'm pretty dirty when it comes to item management and item protection. So whenever you get out front, you always protect your car rear ends.
See, Toad has always been my favourite on all the
Yeah.
Mario Karts, but recently I read an article saying that Wario is the best character.
According to them.
So I've tried out Wario, and he's heavy as fuck.
This is the thing. It's the argument for that is that the higher characters, they take a long time to get momentum going. When they get going, they got a higher top speed. The problem is that when you sometimes go into an online lobby, that you don't need that. It's so chaotic, and especially if you're joining a race where you start at the back straight away. Sometimes it might be worthwhile just having that little bit of extra acceleration speed to recover quickly, or to nimble and dodge everything.
Yeah, that's usually my thinking.
Yeah,
That's why I usually use Toad all the time.
Toad's awesome. He's a great character.
Yeah, exactly. You whatever you're comfortable with, I guess. And I disagree with that to some extent. I mean, the heavy characters are fine, but there's always that red shell that comes and gets you and screws you up
Or
completely.
the blue shell, which is the
Yeah, or
worst
the blue
addition
shell.
to Mario Kart ever, in my opinion.
Well, it's fine. I've benefited more times off a blue shell than anything. So, exactly.
So even Marcus agrees with me.
You're right. I've benefited more from blue shells than I've been hit by them. So
Yeah.
Oh,
Swings and roundabouts. It is swings and roundabouts. I think the blue shell has a purpose. You never feel completely cheated, to be honest with you, because you benefit. But yeah. I'm
Can
on
you
some more
just
Mario Kart soon. Also,
counter it with a nicely timed backwards dropped green?
no, not a blue shell. The blue shell.
Oh
the
no,
only thing
blue
you
shell
kill
you
with blue-
can't.
Yeah, the only thing you can kill with a blue shell is like a little boom box, which deflects. So you carry this little kind of red box with a little horn on it, and then if you get the wind out of blue shells coming your way, hit that, and it'll send out like a
shockwave kind of thing.
Shockwave that deflects it. I've hit those. I managed to get rid of a blue shell a few times using that, but it's all hit and miss. It's very rare that you get that as well. So yeah, it's the balance is there. I mean, I think they've done some gameplay balances with this patch as well, and it's good to know that they're constantly adding stuff to it. So fingers crossed there'll be more stuff coming soon. Fingers crossed.
Cool. And we need to set up a Mario Kart night at some point.
Yeah, exactly. We'll do that. I mean, we'll just sit down and put on Discord, I guess.
Yeah.
Seems straightforward enough, doesn't it? And the last game I've played a bit of, I'm going to probably play a bit more soon, is Last Blade 2, which is a Neo Geo game I got on the Switch recently.
Okay.
I love that game.
You love that game, do you?
Last
Yeah.
Blade 2.
It's beautiful.
It's got really good sprite animation and stuff on it, I think. And although it hasn't got like the massive variety of characters that a lot of the other SNK games do have, the characters they have actually got in that are pretty well defined, and
Yeah.
they all play pretty different from each other.
Yeah. So it does give a heads up to anyone who's wondering what Last Blade 2 is. It's a it's a one-on-one beat 'em up, but with swords. So I've played it for a little bit. It's lovely. And this is the thing: they're going to run out of games soon releasing. There's a couple more that have come out recently, but I've got my eye on for when Payday comes around. So yeah, I've yet to properly played it on the Hori stick yet though. That's the thing. So I literally picked it up a week or so ago with the full intention of playing it on the Hori stick, and I haven't got around to it yet. But it looks lovely. Really, really solid. I mean, whenever these games do come out, I think they just released. What was it? I can't remember what it was. It was another more beat 'em ups than Sense SNK. I always do a little bit of research to see whether or not I should get it. And this one was getting solid 8s and 9s, and I thought, yeah, I'm getting this definitely.
What's it called again?
Last Blade
2.
I will check this
I
out.
mean, it'll obviously be out as well on the mini Neo Geo thing that's coming out very shortly. I mean, I did see recently that like Korea had put up like pre-sales for it, and they were pretty much gone within hours.
Wow.
Yeah.
For that, but there are actually 2 versions of that system. There's,
really?
There's a Japanese version and there's an international version, and they have separate games. They have different games on them.
What?
So not necessarily different. A lot of the games are on both, but if you're a pure fighting game person and you don't really care for much of the other stuff, and you mainly want all their fighting games, you want the Japanese version. Because that's got like every King of the Fighters game on it, and sort of like all of the different world heroes, etc., etc. Whereas the international one will have select King of Fighters games and like 1 or 2 of the other ones, and etc. There was a video for it someone did, and it was on YouTube. I can't remember.
But the thing is so fucking small. How are you really going to plan it properly? Anyway?
Exactly, I saw that and I thought
it's a lot smaller than I thought, actually.
Yeah, I mean, in my personal opinion, it's too small. I still think you're better off just installing MAME onto a computer and playing
it's
it
like
way.
the width of, say, like a
penis,
like an Xbox One or a PS4 case, isn't it?
What, the shape of your penis as well? Jesus Christ, malformed.
Run over by a fucking steamroller.
Rightio, okay. Jesus.
Yeah, even Marcus is laughing. Yeah.
Said the word penis.
Yeah.
Okay.
He's
Jesus Christ.
Anyway, what else?
That's it. I've just been playing a bit more Donkey Kong, I guess. As I said, most of my stuff is on the Switch now. I've kind of switched off. I've still got to play Cody on Street Fighter 5. I haven't got round to it yet. But all my stuff's on the Switch.
Decent enough. He's good enough.
Yeah.
Like he's what do you call it? I can't remember what it's called. What's the movie you push the 2 buttons down together and he goes into the other
Energy Drainer.
No, it's like the
Hurricane Kick.
No, not a move. It's like the secondary bar, not your super bar, your other one. I'm going to pick myself one up. That's it, V-trigger. Twat. Yeah, that's what gives him his knife and or his pole and all that kind of stuff. And you do things with those, and obviously you get extended combos with them. And
I saw a video on it. It looked pretty cool. Yeah, I'll get back into it. I mean, I'm kind of interested sitting at home gaming, so I game on the move now, or just laying on my bed using tablet modes. But maybe when it starts getting cold again, never.
Never.
That's me done.
Darren.
Cool. Also runs, mate, usually. Oh.
Sorry, I need to mute myself.
No worries.
He's muting his son.
Yeah.
Wow.
Monster Hunter World.
I do have some gaffer tape.
Don't go there.
Don't.
This is going back to the days when I thought these like wet wipes called Baby Dream was like a sort of form of chloroform for kids.
I mean, no, I can't go there.
No, don't go there, mate. Just leave it. Let's leave it. Let
bit of
Darren
whiskey.
have to... Yeah,
That'll do
no. Anyway, carry on.
Yeah, Monster Hunter World. Just jumped in, done a few of the sort of event stuff on that. Really, just enjoying that. Going back to that again, like really, it's like when you take a little bit of time off a game and go back to it, and you just think, oh yeah, fucking really enjoyed this game.
What weapon
So it's always good to get things like that. What weapon do I main? Hammer.
Oh, nice.
There's just something about smashing something around the face and sending it reeling with a big fuck off hammer.
I'm a gun lance.
I always found them decent enough, but slightly tricky to use.
Once you nail down the right combo to use, and especially with World and the way they've changed the systems a little bit, there's nothing like it.
Yeah, because I will say, like, I did find out a lot of the weapons, like Lance and Gun Lance. Like, Lance was boring as shit in comparison. It was like you can block and you can just like stab forward or stab diagonally up, and that was almost it. And the charge dash, wasn't it? That was pretty much all you had with the Lance. It was. Some people still love it though. If there's a lot of people
I mean,
that
it's effective if you're patient. You're never going to put out the numbers that you can put out with like hammer or longsword or dual blades or anything. But I mean,
I mean, I'd be interested to see, obviously, since they've added in World, like when you sort of like run down a hill, like a sloped surface, and you've got that aerial attack, haven't you? So it'd be interesting to see what they are for some of the other weapons.
Yeah, I mean, the gun lance one's hilarious. It's literally just a massive overhead smash, but then you can go from that into unloading every shell you've got with one button. So,
I mean, there's so many weapons to muck around with in that. Though, longsword, I was always a lover of back in the old game.
I started another character just to main longsword through the entire game, just for giggles.
And switch axe again is another one that's great fun.
Yeah, that's the new one, isn't it?
I'm trying to think if it was switch axe or whether
switch
it
axe
was
is
the
new one.
blade.
Charge blade has been in a couple, I think. Switch axe is the brand new one for World.
Right.
And that is really good fun.
With the vials and stuff, you get the different things and you sort of like power it up, can't you? It's basically got like really good wide sweeping attacks, but doesn't do as much damage. But yeah, that's World. Division we talked about. Elder Scrolls Online, I've been jumping into a fair bit again this week. I went to one of the new... Well, basically, when I picked the game up, it cost me about £5, and I ended up getting like the gold edition or something of the original game. And it came with like a DLC code for like 4 expansion things for it. So it was like Orsinium, Dark Brotherhood, I think it was, Thieves Guild, and another sort of like slight offshoot sort of DLC thing. But Orsinium, when I went there, this quite a hefty DLC. I mean, when I was looking at the prices for it, if you buy it via their online store with like the crowns currency that they do their microtransactions in, it's only actually 500 gold less than the Morrowind expansion. And it kind of like feels like it because the map itself is fairly large. I mean, I'm in the Daggerfall Covenant, and I've obviously got to Daggerfall, which is like the third island you reach if you're going through like the story quests. And I'd say it's at least, I haven't completely uncovered all of that part of Daggerfall, but it seems to be at least 2/3 the size of that maybe, and it's very much Skyrim inspired. And like being a big fan of Skyrim, it was great to go back to sort of like these sort of areas where it's sort of like icy and quite therapeutic in this weather as well. And you sort of got the mammoths there, the giants, and a lot of the other sort of like mob designs from the previous games all sort of in this area. But then they've done the same job that they did with Skyrim in the fact that although that whole area is generally has that feel to it, there's still areas where it's like grasslandy and areas where it's like bubbling sort of like brooks and things like that, and down by the seafront it's all like very icy. So it still has a nice variation in the locations and everything. And like you were having with the fishing thing, like I've stuck that on before and sort of thought, yeah, I'll play this for about half hour, and then turned around and it's been like 4 hours later.
Yeah.
And just thought like, holy shit. sort of thing. Like, and what did I do in that time? Maybe 2 quests, and I went around trying to hunt down some auto mine, basically. But yeah, I've said it before. It's like some of the things in it are really well done. Like I like the way when you highlight locations, it lets you know with a little description above that location whether or not you've done the relevant quest relevate to that area. So if it hasn't got a description at the bottom, you know you've still got quests to do in that little area. So to go back up there and things like that. But yeah, the only other thing is, like I've said before, the persistent leveling. So you never really feel like you're getting any stronger, I suppose, until you reach the end of the game and you start earning your champion points and sort of leveling past what you're up to. Because it's like you'll be killing things in the same amount of hits and damage as you did at the start of the game as you are at level 25 or 35 or 45, etc. Final Fantasy 14, obviously playing that. Just pretty much cracking on doing dailies and bits on that again still. Gonna try and hopefully get tickets to the next Fan Fest next year, but apparently the early ticket sales are on sale tomorrow, and I should have received an email on the 17th with like a code to say, like, because it's for active members or active memberships. I haven't received shit.
Is it in Germany or?
It's in Paris, this next one. So I'm a bit pissed off about that because I've never been unsubscribed from it. So like since 2.0 launched, I've been permanently subscribed. Like there's not a single day when I haven't been subscribed to it.
When is it next year?
Yeah. It's early next year. I think it's like February or something like that.
So just before Brexit kicks in, then so you'd be fine.
Lols.
So, but yeah, they're selling them now. I mean, the sales for the American event were a complete debacle, and they ended up turning off the server queues and stuff because it was going to crash the system. So yeah, I imagine that could be fun and games. But even if I don't manage to get through because of the membership things, then there's a chance that I could possibly get one when they go on for the general public. But fuck knows why I haven't received an email through, basically. And my email address is right. I'm still getting emails from the company because I checked the other day. Whenever you like renew your membership or buy something off the MOG station or whatever, you get a notification that comes through in your email. So still definitely the right email and everything. And Fortnite, basically, which I will have a little chat about briefly, the Save the World mode on it. They've pretty much brought back the worst event that they have actually run in the game, which is originally it was called Horde Bash, but I can't remember what it's called in this one. And it's a completely sort of like weird separate mode where you're given a set amount of materials to basically survive horde waves. Now, you can't use certain blueprints and things that you've sort of over-leveled in that mode unless you've got the right materials, and it all depends on what materials you're given at the start of the waves to what you can actually build. And you pre-build your bases before going into this map. Now, one of the sort of like main big issues with this is when you're doing the story quests that, well, they're not really story quests. They're like challenges that you'll do when you're actually going through. So just out of curiosity, I'll look at the new one and it'll be like complete challenge 4 in a 28 power zone. So that'll mean going into a 28 power zone and then hoping that somebody chooses the 4th challenge. And because people are getting different things, you can go into those missions with randos, because you obviously have to do them with randos, because obviously the more of you, the merrier, and it's easier to survive. If they don't choose the challenge that people are going to want, you're going to lose people straight away. So people quit out as soon as you start it. Like, it's not often that you'll see like 4 people actually stick around. And I just think it's like really poorly implemented in that you can't actually vote and choose what you want to go into before you go into this, rather than loading in, oh, they haven't chosen what I wanted, quit out. And there's like a separate skill tree as well. You earn points in that mode that you can then slot into a separate skill tree, which will give you extra building materials and other bits and bobs for that mode itself. It's just bizarre. But although I've complained about it, there have been times when I've actually gone in there and had a really good time, because I've been in there with like 3 other people that know exactly what they're doing, and everyone's working together as a team. And in any game, that always is just fantastic. But then there's other times you get in there and it's just like, Jesus wept. Like, do any of these guys know what they're supposed to be doing? Or you'll be building like loads of ceiling traps and everything, getting ready to stick them up, and old fucking Johnny come lately comes around the corner and starts building walls around the whole base to seal off the areas that you just put the traps up in. And it's like, yeah, pointless. Waste my time. Now I've got to try and find my way out of this bloody base as well. But yeah, that's pretty much it. It's been one of those definite quiet periods at the moment, isn't it? Like,
Well,
really
you
even
say it's a quiet
demo.
period. I've got fuckloads of games to play. Can't fucking keep up with it all.
We've all got a lot of games to play, but I'm just on about like the big larger releases and stuff like that. I mean, as far as I know, the next game I've got on my list is basically a Japanese game, which is out next month, like early next month. And then the only other one I think out.
Loads of time.
Yeah, and the only
time to play the stuff.
Yeah, the only other one I can think of after that's really is Spider-Man, and then the floodgates open.
Yeah, I've all the Spider-Man.
Did anyone see the new Spider-Man trailer from Comic-Con?
Yeah.
Oh
Yeah.
no, is it good? I've seen the new PlayStation Spider-Man themed one. It looks ugly as fuck.
Why is the fucking logo on its side? But I must admit, it's similar with the PlayStation logo on the Pro anyway. It's like it's sideways. It should be flat. I don't know. I just want to turn it around. It's sort of weird. Oh well, that's just me anyway.
Yeah, I don't know. I haven't got a clue. Don't care. I'm not getting a new PlayStation, but I'll be getting Spider-Man, so there you go.
But yeah, it's definitely looking good.
Is that okay? So we go to some questions. My cat is currently walking across my keyboard. What are you doing? Go away! For God's sake! That's what she said.
Popular man.
Very valid.
Man. Yeah.
Okay, so we've had a few questions. I just want to. We've got Rooski, Griffey, and Clarky in our chat muted at the moment. I believe Clarky and Rooski wanted to give me a shout out. So if you're not on a Discord group, they pestered me to create a new text channel called Parenting. And we've all been talking about poopy bums and stuff, so that's been really, really fun. So if you want to join, join our Discord. We can talk about potty training and all sorts. Really good times.
How many times have you puked on, mate?
Me?
Yeah.
Oh, at least 4 or 5 times.
Lovely.
By Marcus, yeah?
Oh, yeah. And now he started to eat proper food. His shits absolutely stink. Ugh.
Have you announced the winner of the Rocket League tournament yet?
Oh, so the winner of the Rocket League tournament, even though I call foul on this, because
because you ran off to
Australia. Just because I went on holiday, I got kicked out of the tournament, even though I won my game.
Well, yeah,
this
is
like 7-0.
Over again, isn't it?
I have to say. So I want to play the champion for the ultimate title, but the champion is.
You're gonna get work.
I think but the champion is Stunty's daughter.
Yeah. Legend.
I think you need to play her. She'll kick your ass. I guarantee it.
Probably.
Yeah, I'm only on Evie. Done.
But I want that match for the ultimate title.
Okay. No.
It was robbed.
It's not the ultimate title. It's just so that you can get humiliated. I think she'll kick your ass.
So no, but a big congrats to Evie for winning that. You played the best that the Mojo had to offer, and you beat them all.
Well, I mean, the bar wasn't exactly high, was it?
Clarky here, I got my ass kicked. 12-0.
12-0.
Yep.
Well
it
done.
wasn't even worth trying.
Well done.
Any part that counts. Thank you very much.
Well done. Okay, so I can't actually see if there was any other questions in the podcast chat.
So I've got one that I'd like to pose to you, and well, actually, no, I'll do it last. We'll do the web
We've got a couple of Facebook ones, not many, so I'm just going to rip through them. Sonny J Flack says, "Why is PlayStation so much better than Xbox?"
Irrelevant. PC's better than everything.
Yeah, so I think
he's just had the games this gen. It's just had.
I think he's doing it to take the piss. So I just wanted to read it out because I thought
I had a feeling.
Yes.
Yeah.
Phil says, "Who's played Vampire and what do they think?"
Didn't bother. Didn't look like it was worth it, to be honest.
I haven't played it, no, but I was thinking of acquiring it, but then I couldn't be asked.
The reviews aren't great for it. They say like it's tried and it's just fallen short of what they promised, and you know, hey ho, it's a bit janky.
It's a game that's
clearly
very
played Witcher.
Yeah, it's very choice heavy, isn't it? Like everything you do's got a lot of repercussion. Like you've got to choose who you want to, so like if you want to kill people or suck their blood or whatever it is, and it all has sort of like ripple effects for what you do, kind of thing.
Yeah, but I did hear that the combat's a bit flat as well, which is a bit of a shame.
Saddy face.
But hey ho.
Okay, question from Nikki Wilson in the chat. Will Nintendo ever release decent GameCube/N64 games on the Switch, or are they just going to release old Neo Geo games?
I think we've kind of learned what they're going to be doing with their subscription service. The Virtual Console hasn't really been mentioned, so So we're just going to get a load of SNES or NES games, aren't we? I suppose when the subscription services comes out, I think it goes up to about.
When
20.
people moan, they'll just throw old games at you.
Yeah, I think their strategy at the moment is fine. They've got some key big releases. They're releasing every few months or so, and the back catalogue's building nicely. Sometimes I always say, do we really need another Ocarina of Time to play? Or just a whole? I don't know. It's a tricky one. I know there's
well, Dan, have you read online that apparently Link in Ocarina of Time was gay?
No, according to one person's perception of it, and we've had this conversation, I'm not being drawn into it, and it's clickbait, and you just clickbaited me, and you can go fuck yourself.
Well, you got to think certain publications, that's all they do, clickbait.
Yeah,
exactly.
Well, I've now unfollowed Destructoid from Twitter because they're pissing me off.
Yeah. I think Destructoid and Polygon are two of the biggest offenders for clickbaity bullshit.
Fucking, I would say they are both the C word.
Computer.
Cunning.
Clickbait.
Clickbait. There we go.
Yes. That.
Yeah. I think there's bigger fish to fry, and sometimes getting wound up by people's blogs and their personal opinions isn't the best way of doing it, because at the end of the day, just if you don't agree with it, don't have to feel to the flyer. There we go. Live a little, love a little. Don't.
It pisses me off, mate.
I know it does, but don't let it. Be a better person. Done.
Never.
Anyway, where were we? Talking about Nintendo. I don't think it's anytime soon it's going to get announced. I think there's a whole host of good stuff still coming out on the Switch. I think a lot of people probably much have those games already underneath their telly. It would be nice to play them portably. But I know I'm getting Monster Hunter on my birthday. Monster Hunter Generations, it comes out, and I'm pre-ordered.
Nice.
That actually looks quite good. I've seen the trailer for that.
Yeah, and it's been announced it's got Breath of the Wild tie-in DLC in it, or tie-in content as well.
Yeah, you can play as Gay Link.
Yeah, well, if that's how you would like to play, get a link.
Sorry, I had to throw that in there. No, you can play as Link in it, which I think is pretty cool. So yeah, I like those little tie-ins that Nintendo do. With that new Starlink game that's coming out, you can play as Fox and his ship as well. That looks pretty cool. So yeah,
it's a rosy time at Nintendo. I think sometimes the Neo Geo game reference I've done by Hamster, which is it isn't really affiliated with Nintendo at all.
X-Hamster.
Is it X-Hamster? Oh God, what are you talking about? I don't know. So just trying
Don't.
to,
Just don't.
I'm trying to be fucking professional here, and you're shitting on my parade. Stop it.
Sorry, mate.
All right. Yeah. Just don't worry about it. It'll come soon. Or just get a cheap GameCube and play under your telly, or a 3DS. 3DS got loads of virtual console stuff on it. So. Yeah. Anyway, next questions. Let's just get away from this place.
Steve King says Warframe miles better than Destiny in my opinion. Who else is playing?
Yeah. I mean, it is.
Playing? We need to get
yes.
Sensei, Switch, and Dan onto Warframe.
On PC.
Well, they don't have PCs, but they can still play.
Laptops.
It's coming soon to Nintendo Switch. It is.
It is.
This is true.
So I'll dabble then. So I've got a question about Warframe. Obviously, it's free to play. So in order to get to your level with your crazy Warframe, how much do I have to pay?
Nothing.
No, how much do I have to pay to get it now?
What to get like right now? If you wanted to get to the kind of level of stuff, it depends. The thing is, like, you can buy all the available frames aside from a few primes through the market for platinum. You can buy a few weapons through the market for platinum, but it all depends on what you want to play and what you enjoy. So you could spend maybe 1,000 platinum to get a decent endgame frame and weapon setup.
How much does 1,000 platinum?
I don't know.
Okay.
I don't buy it very often. The thing is, like, you get a daily login bonus, and now and again you get money off, like you get percentage off vouchers. So I usually wait for a 75% off, and then just buy a large chunk of platinum because I trade mods and stuff. Well, the thing is, you don't need any of the coupons, or you don't need any of the platinum to do anything.
Yeah, I know.
So if I was starting again, I would just grind it, and it would be great, especially the state the game it is now, because the new player experience has just improved vastly. You can achieve anything.
Because I played it when it first came on Xbox One, and it was a bit bare bones back then. Yeah, exactly, Marcus.
Yeah, I agree with Marcus.
So yeah, I'm just curious because I kind of was turned off it a few years ago when it first came out. So I will check it out on Nintendo Switch.
Yeah, I mean, this is the thing. Like, it's and just seeing what Nikki's just put in the chat there is an in-game achievement system, so that might tickle your pickle a little bit. It's not particularly mega, but it's something.
Is there any Chivos on Xbox? I don't fucking know.
There's
in-game stuff rather than just Steam stuff.
On PlayStation, so I'd imagine there'd be achievements on Xbox as well.
Probably. So the thing is, like, you can pay the money, but you don't have to. It just takes longer. That's it. I mean, almost every frame is viable. I mean, obviously you're always going to get the min-maxers that are working out all the tier sheets and the viability of things. Hundreds of different weapons, so that's just how it is,
Fair enough.
But yeah, I mean, I've spent a lot less platinum now. I've figured out how the game works.
Cool.
Clarky says, "Who's the guy whose head looks like a flower?" I have no.
Not really sure. Main bad guy at the moment. I can't do spoilers, unfortunately. But there's many different bad guys and bosses and sort of stuff for different planets around the place.
Yeah.
There's a lot,
okay.
But...
Okay. I'll check it out when it's on Switch, I think.
Fair. Okay. Next question from Phil Taylor. Why do people compare games to each other that are absolutely nothing alike in mechanics, objectives, and design? Isn't each game completely different, excluding sequels?
No. People like to compare. They do. They like to it's just the way things are, I'm afraid. Human nature. That's a really shit answer. Sorry, Phil.
Apparently, the Xbox version of Warframe has 2,800 gamer score.
Ooh, get on it, peeps.
There you go.
Yeah.
So going back to the question from Phil, you can compare games like Call of Duty and Battlefield are always compared because they're both first-person shooters, right? But then you can't compare all first-person shooters against each other. Games they need to have some similarities, which is why like PUBG and Fortnite are compared to each other, right? Because they're both battle royale games, even though they have their slight differences.
But then you'll get games that are hard, and it's like, oh, is this Dark Souls? Like, no, it fucking isn't Dark Souls. And there are like actual valid comparisons to a Dark Souls type game, but If a
Yeah.
game's hard, it doesn't make it Dark Souls. It's the systems in the game that make it like Dark Souls, in my opinion. Like Nioh is a Dark Souls type game.
Yeah,
like,
true.
no ways about it. But something like
The
Cuphead
Surge
is
and stuff
not a
like that.
Dark Souls game.
No, Cuphead is a hard platformer, but it's a platformer.
It's
And Monster
rubbish, that's
Hunter
what
is
it
not
is.
a Dark Souls game either.
Sorry. I do not like Cuphead.
That game is fucking solid.
I'm well surprised you didn't like Cuphead then, because it's like proper old
badly
school.
designed. The shooting mechanics were dire. There was no finesse in any of the movement, and it was just like there was no. The problem, but there was no real. It didn't feel right.
It was a
just
reflex shooter
Yeah,
more than anything else.
And I like a bit of finesse and a bit of skill. This wasn't. It was skill, but not in the way I like. You know, there wasn't really. It didn't really float. You put left and right. There was no building up or speed or turning. You know, little bits of finesse you learn and you connect with the game. I know a lot of people liked it, and a lot of people probably think I'm being a bit
Well, it was
unreasonable.
sold basically just on the art style, and
Yeah,
Oh, the art is beautiful.
yeah, but I'm not denying that. It's just playability wise,
Yeah.
it was just awful. I
Well,
just hated it.
I just found it too fucking hard. I couldn't get past like the 4th boss.
Noob.
I
But you
know.
know,
Nub.
definitely.
DLC's out for that scene, isn't it?
Is there? Ah.
They're adding like another character, aren't they?
Ah. Oh, well, another Cuphead. Different colour. Green colour.
Yeah, like a female,
yeah.
like one like
yeah.
Miss Kettle or something, like or Miss
Miss
Potts or something.
Kettle.
I don't know.
Rebel Toasty Maker or something like that. I don't know.
Yeah.
Anyway, where were we? Carry on. Next question.
Well, I got one,
Got him.
and it was PC Gamer have actually been running sort of like Food Week this week, and the relevant question was, what's your favourite snack while gaming?
Pizza.
Ooh.
Crisps.
No, an easy
And
snack,
why?
something close to hand.
Yeah. Something's not
Beer.
too greasy. Beer. Yeah,
I'd
something
say
not too-
something that you could. It sounds a bit weird, but something you can like suck and eat without like while you've still got your you can still use your hands on your controller properly.
like a meat lollipop, yeah?
Mm.
No, more like M&Ms or something like that.
Okay.
Or,
Oh, non-greasy.
Yeah.
It's in the
Yeah,
coating. The
makes sense.
coating's good.
yeah,
That's
just
not real
like grab
food,
a
that's just
handful and pop
chocolate.
it in.
Oh, chocolate is
Snack.
Yeah.
Didn't say
Yeah.
meal.
Ah, okay.
Yeah, M&M's work. Minstrels. Not
Yeah.
in this weather. Not Maltesers. Not in this weather though. I'm a
True
big fan
that.
of Maltesers. Big fan of Maltesers.
Pringles.
Yeah.
Pringles are good. Yeah.
There
I
we
like.
go.
I've recently started on a mix of chocolate raisins and salted peanuts.
Oh, that sounds interesting.
It's good.
Okay. Did you make that yourself, or did you buy that?
Buy bags of cheap chocolate
Okay.
raisins and cheap salted peanuts and mix it all.
I might have tried that. That sounds delightfully.
I used to
fucked
love
up.
Revels. Used to be pretty cool.
Yeah.
Love the
But
coffee.
then occasionally you'll get the toffee ones, and it's like,
Or the or the orange, the coffee ones. I weren't a big fan of.
Coffee
But
ones are the
no,
best.
the coffee and the orange ones are the best, mate.
You freaks.
Yeah.
I'm
You're
the same as well.
outvoted.
Like with the Cadbury's roses, mate. The orange creams and the strawberry creams are my favourite.
Yes. Strawberry creams, man.
Clarky likes
Well,
after
they actually did. I think McVitie's recently did like the strawberry and the orange cream like cake bars, like
Yeah.
Rosie's
Ooh.
cake bars.
Oh, now we're talking.
Well, I'm just going to move on.
Anyway.
So
I'm getting
Jaffa
quite hungry
cakes are also another great snack.
Yes. Jaffa cakes. Who could forget those motherfuckers? Jaffa cakes.
Right, I'm going
Anyway,
to move on
carry
to another question. So we had one from Nikki Wilson asking if anyone's seen the Nathan Fillion YouTube Uncharted fan movie.
Yes, I did put this in our Discord, our Twitter group thing. I've watched it myself.
I
I don't
haven't
know if
watched
any of
it.
you guys have. Oh, it's great. It is really well done.
I'm going to watch it after this.
Yeah, I mean sort of the consensus is at the moment, I believe, that Zachary Levi's sort of like lobbying to be like Nathan Drake in an Uncharted film.
Cool.
But when you see Nathan Fillion in the role, he does such justice, and he does look quite a bit like him as well. So all the like character mannerisms and stuff are all there. So it's like really well done in my opinion.
Okay, I might check that out. I haven't seen it yet.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's only like 15 minutes. You've got Nathan Fillion and the other guy who's in it. It was the one who played Quaritch in the Avatar films, the cigar chomping guy.
Okay.
I can't remember his actual name off the top of my head. But yeah,
Okay.
he plays Sully.
Okay, cool. Nice. Never know, it might happen.
Yeah. Last question on Facebook from Paul Clark. Is it too friggin' hot to play games at the moment?
Yeah.
Almost. I wouldn't say it fully is. I mean, I'm still managing the game. I just lose my rag a lot easier.
Yeah. My flat's been quite cool today, so it's been alright. So there you go. I've been playing a bit, I suppose.
It's never too
I wait
hot.
till night, and then just aim a fan at myself, and then it's all good.
Cool. Done.
That is all the
In
Facebook
doubt,
questions.
just do it.
Yeah, just play naked. It's fine. Just don't put your webcam on.
Camera on, yeah, unless you're playing Uno.
Uno. Windmill alert.
Whoa.
Any questions from the dudes who are lurking in the voice chat? Anything you want to say? Clarky, Griffey, or Rooski? No?
Nothing more to add, I'm afraid.
That makes me sad.
Anticlimax. What is your favourite colour?
Cola?
Cola specifically, or soda in general?
With tincture pickle.
Oh man, if we're just talking colas, it's Pepsi Max Ginger.
No way.
But I am weird, it's accepted. And if it's fizzy drinks in general, fucking Iron Brew.
Dr. Pepper all the way.
Cherry Max, Pepsi Max. Cherry Pepsi Max.
What's with all these Maxes? Jesus. Like,
Sorry, no, wait. I take it back. Vanilla Coke Zero.
what's
That's
with the
even worse.
zeros, mate?
It's
Because
Get that saccharin shit out of there, mate.
no, I'm really fucking fat anyway.
It's got a really weird aftertaste.
Not to me.
It just doesn't taste like. I always go, oh, it's just like Coke. No, it fucking isn't, because Coke doesn't have that horrible aftertaste.
I sometimes treat myself, mate, but if you're thirsty and you want a litre of pop, you don't really want it all that sugar.
Oh no, true. Yeah, I limit myself nowadays.
Well, that's the
I
thing.
don't drink that much fizzy because of the amount of sugar in it. It's ridiculous.
So drink zero. You can have litres of the shit and it's fine.
Well,
I hear the back
I'd
stuff.
rather have like ice cold water out the fridge. Like, you can't beat a bit of H2O.
yeah, true.
Yeah, that's fair.
There you go. You cause chaos,
Like,
Clark.
water
What
gets
you done?
bad.
Yes. I'm sorry.
Right, that's it. No, we're splitting the community in half. We're gonna fucking half of us fuck off.
Yeah,
Yeah, fuck PlayStation, Xbox. It's all about the drinks now.
exactly. And it's Pepsi versus Coke, zero
That's
versus
it.
full fat.
Or pineapple on your pizza.
Yeah,
Oh, don't start.
Don't start that.
Well, Pepsi
stop
Max
the
is winning in the chat room.
There you go. We've all been conditioned. We have.
That's some high
Coke
carb
Zero's
H2O.
Coke Zero's okay, but it's just taste it. You go, this isn't Coke. At least with Pepsi Max or Pepsi Max Cherry, it tastes. It's got its unique taste, I suppose.
Mm.
What I'm drinking now, actually.
Oh, there you go.
That's what I just looked. I just looked around my room and just thought of a question by looking at the drink. Sorry.
I used to like McDonald's root beer.
Yeah, no.
I love root beer.
It used to sort of taste like mouthwash from a dentist or something, like Mackie D's root beer.
Well, if I remember correctly, it tasted like Jaeger without the fun.
Quite possibly.
Yeah. I'm trying to remember what it tastes like.
Yeah, they stopped selling it in the early 90s, didn't they? I
They
think.
did, yeah, after we kind of just realised no one really likes it. Yeah.
I didn't mind it.
Nah,
Yeah.
I like root beer. It's just hard to get decent root beer for
Yeah.
cheap.
What was that? Coke Clear. Was that
Tab.
Coke Clear?
Coke Tab.
Pepsi.
Tab. That's it. That's it. That was...
Pepsi Tab, wasn't it?
Pepsi Clear, Pepsi Crystal.
Yeah,
something like that?
I think Coca-Cola was Tab.
Yeah, it was. I don't know.
Yeah, that didn't last.
No, it didn't because it was full of poison.
Crystal Pepsi.
Oh yeah, and Chris. Yeah, that was the other one.
That was nasty.
Yeah. Oh, lovely. Busy drinks. They can't beat a nice bit of cream soda, though. Block of ice.
True.
Pop a vanilla ice cream in there as well.
The only soft drink I
float.
wasn't really a fan of when I was younger was like either Tango or Lilt.
Lilt's a weird
So, yeah,
one.
Lilt's grim. I don't.
It's
For
the
some reason.
It's the grapefruit in Lilt that throws me out because it's not like it's not sweet.
Grapefruit is not a breakfast; it's a punishment.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, it's true. Never eat grapefruit. It's bad for you.
Yeah, it's like, I go stay with my parents, and sometimes they'll have grapefruit in the fridge for breakfast, and I'm like, no, what have I done wrong?
You don't have to drink it. Just
Where's
go
the
to-
Lucky Charms with the fucking bags full of
Marshmallows
sugar?
Yes.
Yeah, disguised as marshmallows.
Frosties.
Oh.
I tell you, a nice breakfast I've started doing is Greek yogurt, a bit of nut clusters, and blueberries. That's very nice.
Yeah.
That sounds just like my parents then. You're getting older. Bit of all brands,
Yeah, it's for breakfast.
I have to say, it's quite nice actually. It's like, you make sure you wash them in case you get a bit of shit on them. But yeah, I quite like that. Wash down with some nice black coffee, maybe an orange juice. Oh, I'm hungry. I haven't eaten this supper yet. What time is it? Fucking hell.
9:15.
Oh shit.
Is it really 9:15? I thought it was
Yeah.
earlier than that.
I've been sleeping all day, so I haven't really eaten. Oh well.
Blimey.
I mean, what's sleep? How are you, Clarky? You alright? Litland?
Yeah, he's all good. I lost him a bit on the old baby monitor.
I've had to down the pub.
Yeah. I think the range is quite good on these monitors, actually. I only got a pub down the road. I wonder if it worked.
What, leave him in the
multitasking.
Has it got the screen and stuff on it as well, or is it just one where you can like hear him?
No, I've got the screen and everything. Like I was saying, I couldn't get him on the camera for a bit. I thought he legged it out the window or something, but I think he's still there. I'll have a look in a minute. Dad number one.
Apparently, when I was younger, on multiple occasions, I was found like struggling underneath the mattress,
Oh,
where I'd actually like somehow managed to try and tunnel out through the bottom of my bed or something and got stuck under the mattress.
I'm quite impressed, actually.
Maybe I like lacked a bit of oxygen while I was down there for a while, and it's done the same.
Clarky, I have found a little trick though. If you want to do some gaming during the day,
Yeah.
put Puppy Dog Pals on a tablet, stick it
Yeah.
in front of the kid, and then play some games.
Quality.
Yeah, it works for about 20 minutes.
I've heard a lot about these.
I'll
Puppy
neglect
Dog
for the
Pals.
win.
Yeah.
Mark, if you hear the doorbell go tomorrow morning, it might be child services.
Yeah, does this go out to the internet?
Maybe. That's what I've only dropped him on his head a couple of times.
Broke. Oh. Little Goonies reference there.
Anyway, that's all the questions.
Yay!
Random.
Yeah. So it's been awesome. We've talked about loads of different things.
Yes.
Next week we might have a discussion about other stuff if we want to. I don't think Dan will want to be on it.
No, I'm
Best
busy.
British Biscuits episode.
Yeah, I'm busy next week. What am I doing next week? Can't remember. I'll find something to do. I'll be back in a month or two.
Okay. This is
Maybe.
your twice
Prime
yearly arrival.
Festival
twice a
time,
year.
isn't it?
Yeah, well, I'm out next weekend. I'm at another festival, and then it's just non-stop over August.
Fair.
You got to come down. You got to come down to Brighton. You and Leon and Marcus.
Yeah.
We'll go do some family shit. Like I don't know, walk around some shops.
Oh, apparently there's a
cafe.
retro
Freak
shop.
spotting.
There's a retro shop in Brighton. I want to go there.
Well, Ninja Game Den.
I don't know what it's fucking called.
There's lots of there's a couple of retro shops.
Yeah, I want to go and have a look. Have a peruse.
Have a peruse. Okay.
Yes.
Go
Right,
weirdo
well-
watching down the seafront.
Oh
Get him a
god.
mirror.
Is there a loading bar?
Huh?
There isn't. There's a loading bar at Brighton, isn't there?
A loading bar.
Loading.
No, I don't think so.
No, that's in London, mate.
It's in London.
Oh,
Yeah.
I thought they opened one in Brighton.
Oh, don't know.
I'll have a look. I don't know. I haven't seen it.
I think it's
Need to
near the
go
actual pier.
Okay, I'll have a look. That's news to me. I know nothing about that. That'd be interesting. There was a couple. There was one particular venue, the World's End, which I popped into recently. And upstairs, they've opened up a games area.
Oh, nice.
And there's VR booths there as well, which I went there when it was very quiet, and they saw me pop my head round, and they go, "Oh, come in!" I went, "No, you scare me." Bye.
That's fair.
Yeah, I had places to go, things to do, but yeah, it might be worth. There's a couple of places like Brewdog's got a Street Fighter game machine in there now.
Nice.
So there's all sorts of bits popping up. It's just I don't get out to the bars as much as I used to. But
Really?
no.
I
just
don't
bars.
Apparently, Loading have opened a bar in Brighton called SideQuest.
Okay,
Oh, nice.
I'll have a look. I'll
Need to
look
check it out.
online. Yeah, take the kid in. Introduce the kid to his first bar.
That's it.
First alcoholic drink. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
I
it.
think they do specify coffee and cake and stuff, so you know.
Nice.
Quality. Thank you very much.
No worries. Right, guys, on that note, we're going to end it here. It's been awesome.
Yeah.
As
Yeah.
always, next week, the recording... Oh, fuck. More night shifts.
Yeah.
On the weekends. So...
As am I.
Monday is next week's recording.
Yeah.
Monday at 7 p.m.
There you go. We need to get Elliot back on here.
Yeah.
What, Elliot, why? Sleep.
Yeah, every week I put in our Twitter group who's coming on the podcast, and Elliot always says no. And I always know it's going to be a no, so I don't know why he even bothers. Because he won't stay up anymore.
No, you won't.
No.
Well, if he's staying up till like freaking 5, 6 in the morning, that's a bit much.
No,
but
it's
if
not.
it was sort of like,
I want some
What's
commitment,
the-
mate.
well, yeah, I suppose if it was early or later enough, you could get up about early. You could get
Yeah.
up about 5, 6 in the morning. But when it's on about getting up like say 3 or 4 in the morning, it's a bit
Yeah.
much. you
Well,
know
on a
what I mean?
Monday, it's for us, it's going to have to be an evening.
Yeah.
So that's just how it is. Work schedules and
That's
all
just
that,
the way
you know.
it is.
New regime.
Yeah.
Oh well. Never mind.
So anyway, from me, Mark Webb, Gamer Take a Piss on the D-Stim, ID, Webby 3 on 7.
Me, Matt, Saturday, whatever.
Cinema Dan, banned from children's parties.
Weird. Sensei Switch.
So thank you very much. You can find us. You can find us on Twitter at Mojo_INT or at Webby 3 on 7. You can find us at.
Oh, fuck's sake.
You can find us at Facebook, facebook.com/groups/Mojo Interactive. I have kind of toyed with making the website on GoDaddy. It hasn't gone live yet, but it's
Oh no.
mojo-interactive.net. It might
It's
go
coming
live
back.
this week.
What are you gonna put on it?
It's just a place. It's just links to all the to the podcast and the YouTube channel and
I'm not
Discord
writing
and
shit,
Twitch and
mate.
all that.
Seriously.
That's all. That's all it is. So it's just a page which links to everything. So
Fair enough.
that's pretty cool. But it's not gone live yet because fucking takes forever. Anyway, that's it. So thank you very much. We will see you on Monday at 7 p.m. if you're going to listen live on Twitch or the Discord chat. So awesome. See you next week. Goodbye.
Goodbye. Goodbye.
Bye.
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 Yeah.
Bye. Bye. Bye.
Bye. Bye. Bye. Bye. Right, I'm off out here.
Yeah, I suppose you better go up and eat something, mate. At 9:15.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
better go and actually spend some time with Marcus. Hardly
Oh,
seen
yeah,
him
yeah.
all day.
Otherwise, he'll turn out like you.
Yeah. and the baseball's on as well. So
Oh,
that's
right, well. You go and I don't know, do the thing,
Go watch
Do the
baseball.
thing.
and Do baby stuff.
Yeah.
win the points.
Well,
Yeah,
Oh.
change
Oh,
your
I'm gonna
nappy.
get some food. Cheers,
Cool.
folks.
all right,
Adios.
see
Take
you
care.
guys.